Hello YouTube, I'm Pilot Stud and welcome to this very special video. Today I'll be going through my top 5 add-ons you have to try out for Microsoft Flight Simulator, so stay tuned. Hello YouTube, I'm Pilot Stud and as I said, welcome back. Now today I'll be running through my favourite add-ons for Microsoft Flight Simulator so far. Now obviously, as you guys could probably work out, there's not going to be too many add-ons I can really talk about, so I've narrowed it down to my top 5. And due to the small amount, some of these you may already know, but there's certainly some gems in here. If you're new here, be sure to like, comment and subscribe. I do flight training videos, flight sim videos, trip reports and a lot more, so if you love everything about aviation, you've certainly come to the right place. But now, let's get into this video. Okay, so I thought I'd kick this video off with quite possibly my favourite freeware airport for Microsoft Flight Simulator so far. Now already I can see this being incredibly popular. It's basically the best featured airport on most of the add-on sites. It's Echo November Sierra Delta or Sandane Airport in Norway. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, and trust me, it's my favourite. Now this airport is really well made for a freeware airport that came out 2 weeks after Microsoft Flight Simulator was released. It's set in between a valley by the looks of it, where you've got twin peaks surrounding it, loads of mountains and a massive lake or river near it. It's a really beautiful area to fly. You can tell how much time they've spent into this airport just from its custom made pappies. There's only 2 lights as opposed to 4, which I thought was very interesting. The runway is really well done. I was looking on Google Maps and it looks completely identical. Now of course it's not going to be perfect, the road tunnel is a bit weird, but in my eyes this looks really incredible. I highly recommend flying around this airport, doing some circuits over the lake. It looks absolutely amazing, and as with all of these, the links are in the description. Now let's move on to my second add-on you should get. Okay, so I've talked about my next 2 add-ons on individual videos before, but you guys really need to check them out. So first of all, let's talk about the F-18. Now FSX flyers will remember the F-18. It was a very popular aircraft on there and the subject of many Air Force Proud videos. Now unfortunately this one in Microsoft Flight Simulator isn't too well crafted, but it's a fun aircraft to fly. The Blue Angels livery does suit it very well and it feels quite at home in Microsoft Flight Simulator, I have to admit. Now as I said, not everything is complete in it, it's certainly not payware, but it's a very nice aircraft to fly and it flies even better on the Legacy flight model. Okay, so that wraps up our second add-on. Let's talk about our third one. Okay, so I have talked about this one on an individual video before. It is the improved Airbus A320neo. Now while this isn't an add-on you need right now because it's not too different to the default version, it's certainly one you've got to keep an eye out for the future, and that is because it will be like the Zebu 737 in X-Plane 11. It's going to be a fully free payware quality aircraft, so keep an eye out on this one. Iceman is clearly working hard on it by the looks of it. Download it now and you get some new functions. We've got door information on the ECAM display, APU information on the ECAM display, among other things. It's a really promising add-on, but those that have been looking around, you've probably already heard of it. I know 3 out of 5 of the add-ons you guys have most likely already heard of, but to be fair, there's not many to choose from at the moment, so keep an eye out for future videos. I'll be talking about the massive livery pack. Okay, so I promise you guys, this 4th add-on is the last one that you guys have probably heard of before if you've already looked around for Flight Simulator add-ons. It's Klink's Mega Pack version 7. Now this is a really awesome livery pack. It's filled to the brim with all different liveries across 11 different aircraft. I highly recommend it. It really increases the realism of the simulator. When you see yourself in an EasyJet livery, it just looks so much better than the default liveries, I've got to be completely honest. Now not all liveries are perfect, I'm talking to you British Airways, some of them do look quite horrendous. But yeah, it's a fantastic add-on. If you haven't got it, I highly recommend you get it. It increases the realism and it just makes it funner to fly. It's funner to fly an EasyJet A320neo than it is to fly a default one. So get it if you haven't already. It's quite popular and they're constantly updating it. They certainly need to update some of the liveries in there anyway. Anyway, let's move on to the final, and this isn't really an add-on, but this is something very cool that I found. let's do it. Okay, so this is flightlock.com and it's very exciting. I find this very cool. Basically, if you don't know where to fly and you're stuck on ideas, then you should go to this website. It works really well. Use it as a reference to find places you might not have heard of before. There's certainly so many places I can recommend you fly, but this website is really epic. It certainly saves you from being stuck. I mean, just look, there's hundreds of options. It highlights dangerous airports, important airports, interesting airports, points of interest, natural parks, national parks, etc, etc. It's a really great tool if you're stuck on places to fly. As with all of them, there's a link in the description. This one is probably the least known one so far, but I really recommend it. So there you have it, guys. Here was 5 add-ons you may or may not have heard of for Microsoft Flight Simulator. You need to download all of them right now. Go do it. The links are in the description. I highly recommend it. But from me today, that is all. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe if you're new here. As always, thanks to all my captains, you guys really helped me out. But from me today, that is all. Bye bye.